Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today for Free Will, Forgiveness, and Freedom, the real road to true liberation and peace. So, today we're going to talk about something I think is really interesting, and it has to do with a question that someone asked me today about why so many people don't engage their free will. In other words, and I'm sure that you've met people like this, or maybe you are like this. Um, a lot of people have this attitude that they're just going to sit back and kind of wait and see what unfolds, or uh, put something out there that they might want, and then just forget that this was something that they wanted, and instead just started to deny that they ever asked for it. So it's really such an interesting question because there are a number of different layers to it. First off, if you are not fully engaged, consciously utilizing your free will, what you've done is you have abdicated your power. Your power is as a creator. But the other thing that happens is that if you're not utilizing it, if you have this laissez faire sort of attitude, I'll just wait and see what happens. In truth, what is really controlling the situation is fear. And if you are in fear on any level, you are actually choosing fear over your ability to create. So, what could be some of the circumstances where people would not choose to use their free will? Well, it can come a lot of times from situations, perhaps as a child, where you were asking, and were disappointed that you didn't get what you asked for. Or perhaps even that you were told that whatever you were asking for was too much. You're just asking for too much all the time. And so you were shut down over and over and over again. Well, we know that as creators, to have someone or some situation shut us down, it's very painful. And so that pain is a toxic energy to us. And so rather than having it infect our entire field, we try to encapsulate it. But what happens is very often we have a lot of those repetitive situations that happen, and then that energy has taken over a number of different locations in the field until finally the energy that we associate with being the ego simply just taps into those and says, "Oh, I've got them now." So there's lots of energy that it has to feed from. And so that's what happens. And so you get to this point where you actually are afraid to ask for anything, afraid that you'll be disappointed, afraid that it will be painful, afraid that you'll be judged, afraid that you will be seen as not enough to be given those things, or valuable enough to receive from the universe. And so, going forwards, as we're talking about these connections between free will, forgiveness, and ultimately your freedom, which is what we want, right? That is how we align with the God within us in total freedom. As we continue to connect these energies and become more and more aware about how, what, when, and where, we are able to truly engage on a conscious level our free will. What's going to happen is that everything that you need to let go of, which is actually the process of forgiveness, will be shown to you. It'll come back to you over and over and over until you finally choose, engage your free will to do something differently. So this is going to be really interesting because as you take this in, your true self, your true nature is, it's basking in this light, and energy is always seeking out other energy just like itself. So it will go out and it will come back in the form of opportunity for you and experiences for you to fully engage your free will. And of course, then we need to move into how do we let those old beliefs, that old toxic energy, how do we let it go? So, one thing is, I'd like to invite you this weekend to a wonderful workshop that I'll be providing at 13 Moon Studio here in Gainesville, Florida. And you can attend live or live streamed. But I'll be talking about forgiveness and how to set yourself free. So, freedom is what we are looking for. Freedom is our one true nature, and it's how we align with the God within us. Okay, I'll put the details of the workshop below, but in the meantime, I hope you'll take time to savor this information and think about how it might be impacting your life too. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back. More questions, more thoughts, and of course, more opportunities for you to, come into the fullness of all that you're meant to be. Okay, so much love to you. Bye-bye now.